are in Massachusetts and we are heading to Salem. Let's go. Salem! We're in it! I'm gonna have a heart attack! I'm gonna cry!
Mommy,
Oh my God, it's Salem Visitor Center.
I'm gonna cry. I'm trying not to cry.
Was this a good birthday present?
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
you're crying.
In half a mile, exit right.
Okay. Get together, girl. Get it together. Okay. One of my lifelong dreams came true. I got to visit Salem for the first time with my family, and it was everything I hoped for and more. Our first stop was the Witch House, or the Corwin House. This house belonged to Judge Corwin, who was a judge that executed 19 witches and is one of the few structures still standing that has direct ties to the Salem witch trials. Once we saw the witch house, we started making our way through the town, just exploring. As you can see, I was thrilled to be there. We saw the Bewitched statue, we checked out some restaurants and just some local sites, and really just took in and just breathed in the Salem magic. Our next stop was at the town hall from Hocus Pocus, which you'll recognize in the film as the place where Max and Danny's parents go to the Halloween party, and where the Sanderson sisters have their singing debut of I Put a Spell on You. Our next stop was the Ropes Mansion, or Allison's house from Hocus Pocus, and a local actually walked us over there, talked to us, and shared with us that there was a garden located on the back side of it for us to go and explore. And so we did, and we were greeted with such a lovely view, and I can't wait for you to see it. We stumbled upon the little free library at the Ropes Garden unexpectedly, and we were able to get a book from there, and we ended up finding Coraline, which I absolutely love because it felt special finding a spooky book in Salem. After having such a lovely experience at the Ropes Garden, we ended up heading over to the Charter Street Cemetery where the Salem Witch Trial Memorial is located. The atmosphere in this location was very different from what we had experienced earlier during the day. This location felt very serious and very heavy, and the realization starts to set in with you about what really happened during the Salem witch trials. At this point, I started thinking about the fact that these are real people with real lives who went through something unimaginable for the time period, and is still very pertinent to this day as you start to think about what they went through and just honestly all the names of the people, and you start to see that a lot of these people were executed on the same day, and just thinking about what that must have been like to be in their shoes, watching people go in front of you, knowing that that was going to happen to you. If you have not done so, I highly encourage you to do some research on some of these names and on the Salem witch trials in and of itself, and really learn about some of these people and the lives that they had and what went on with them and what led them to this point of being executed, unfortunately, during the Salem witch trials. Sarah Good was one of the first accused of being a witch at this time. Bridget Bishop was the first person to be executed for witchcraft during the Salem witch trials. Corey was wife to Giles Corey, who during this time at the trials refused to plead guilty or not guilty for witchcraft and subsequently was pressed to death instead of hanged. He was tortured by this process of pressing. The idea was that he would confess by doing this. Instead, he did not and passed away. Some facts on this cemetery is that no one that was executed or tried during the Salem witch trials is buried here. However, there are individuals who were directly or indirectly involved at this event who can be found in this cemetery. This cemetery is among one of the oldest in the country, although this does not include the indigenous burial sites that are founded here pre-colonization. Some notable graves that you can find in this cemetery is John Hawthorne, who is a witch trial judge who died in 1717, and also a Mayflower passenger named Richard Moore. Once we left the cemetery, we headed over to the Salem Commons for a much more fun and light atmosphere after experiencing something that was very heavy. The House of Seven Gables was made famous by Nathaniel Hawthorne's work, The House of Seven Gables. This location actually helped inspire part of that work. He is also the author of The Scarlet Letter, which is set in Puritan New England. I expected this location to be much more eerie, and it was in its own sense, but it was very beautiful. There was actually a wedding that was going on while we were there, and we got to see just a little sneak peek of the ceremony as we toured this beautiful garden and its grounds. Something that I realized about Salem, you see and you hear so much about the lore and the witches and all the spooky atmospheric things, but it is also so beautiful and magical in its own right. Seeing Salem for the first time and also getting to experience it with my family was one of the most magical experiences I've ever had in my life, and it's something that I will always treasure and hold dearly to my heart, and I'm just so thankful for it all.
what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Hey darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Yeah, we only get one life. I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
One of the most special parts of this trip was getting to see Max and Danny's house from Hocus Pocus. Standing there and seeing it, it felt so surreal and just so magical. As I was walking away from taking a picture, I hear the door open and I hear the owners come out. And I turn around and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm great, thanks," or something like that. I don't know, but I was so embarrassed. But I can say whoever was in that house, we exchanged words. So there's that. Wrap up the day, we headed back towards downtown Salem and we just hung out, experienced the shops. We had pizza at Essex Pizza, which was really great, by the way, if you're interested, and really just took in the atmosphere. It was so fun. Everyone was dressed up. We were interacting with people that were dressed up as like Jack Skellington, and it was just so magical and so fun. we are reaching the end of this video, and I want to wish you a magical day. Thank you for being here.